In this video, we are going to be coding an AI virtual desktop assistant using Python skills that we have learned throughout this course. Guys, you guys must have heard of Cortana, Siri and Google Assistant. There's a bunch of softwares available in the market, but I want you guys to understand how these things work behind the hood. I want you guys to see how these things are coded, and that's why I've come up with this video on AI virtual assistant. I'm going to be calling this virtual assistant as Jarvis. So we'll be coding Jarvis from scratch using Python in this video. Let me show you guys a demo. Have a look at this.
Initializing Jarvis. Good evening here. I am Jarvis. How may I help you?
Jarvis, play music. Jarvis, open YouTube. Who is Tom Cruise according to Wikipedia?
Thomas Cruise, born Thomas Cruise May Author 4, July 3rd, 1962, is an American actor and film producer.
Alright, so I'll stop it now, and you saw it works and it is awesome, believe me. Before we start this video, I want you guys to access my Python playlist if you haven't already done that. I'll be dropping the link in the description. Also, I want you guys to tell me your name in the comment section. Where are you from, so that if I have anything to give you, for example, the source code, the cheat sheet or anything that I come up with in the future, I can directly reply to your comment. So I want you guys to post a comment telling about yourself, telling about where you are from and what your name is. That way I can give you all the resources whenever I come up with any. So hit that like button, drop a comment and join me in this journey where we create this desktop virtual assistant software in Python from scratch. So I'm not going to be wasting much of your time, and as you can see, I'm inside my computer. Guys, enough of talks, so let's start creating a virtual assistant now. So I have this empty folder right here, and I'm gonna be creating a new folder, and I will name it Jarvis. Let me create this folder and I will open this folder. I'll right click here and I'll say in fact I'll click shift and right click, and if you press shift on your keyboard and you right click, you will find an option called open this in PowerShell or open this in command line. So you'll find this option here. As you can see that I have this PowerShell open here. I'll write code dot, and once I do that, I'll open Visual Studio Code. And if this doesn't work for any reason, you can open Visual Studio Code, you can go to file, you can go to open, and you can click the here open folder, file, open folder, and you can select the folder you want to open. It can be anything. You can open any folder. Here I have created a new folder called Jarvis. I have opened that folder, and now I'll be creating a new file inside that Jarvis folder. So let me write main.py. And before I start, I want you guys to access this Python playlist if you haven't already, because I have broken down each and every Python concept in this playlist. I have taught you about strings, I've taught you about numbers, variables, installation and everything. So I want you guys to access this playlist. I want you to bookmark it and save it if you haven't already. Having said that, I'll start coding Jarvis. So there are a bunch of modules you need to install, and you can click on terminal here and you can click new terminal, and by doing that you have your integrated terminal, integrated VS Code terminal open here. And how it helps you is that you have your code and terminal on one screen, so that makes work easy for you. So I'll just import few modules. I'll say import pyttsx3, and you might be thinking what is that, and I want you guys to Google this module and you'll find some more information about that, and I'll be explaining why we are using this module. It's a text to speech module, and we are going to be using this to create Jarvis. In order to install this, all you have to do is you have to type pip install, and then you have to say pyttsx3. If you get any error, I want you guys to go back to this playlist and start learning everything from basics. But again, if you see some error like pip is not recognized or Python is not recognized, I want you guys to go to my channel, and I have videos to solve those errors. Believe me, it will not take much time. Just open the channel and you will find the relevant video. Let me wait for this to install, and you can see that it was 8.4 MBs and it got downloaded. Now it is getting installed, and I'm doing this on a Windows operating system, so it is getting installed. Pip takes care of everything. I'm waiting for it to install. Now I'll say import speech. Let me click it. Import speech underscore recognition and I'll say as SR. So why I'm doing this, because I don't want to type speech recognition every time. I want to write import speech recognition as SR, and I can say SR instead of speech recognition whenever I want to call speech recognition. So I can install this module by saying pip install speech recognition, and you have to type exactly like this. I'm gonna be copying it and I will paste it as comment. So I'll say you can install it using pip install speech recognition, and once again you can pip install pyttsx3, and this is nothing but text to speech to text module. Okay, so we can use this module, and this is text to speech module. Whatever you type, it will speak for you, and it is really very useful for you guys. So let me once again open my Visual Studio Code and let me import few more modules. I'll import DateTime. Do not get scared with me importing these modules. We are going to be using it. You'll create projects which will have tons of modules, so do not worry. So Wikipedia, this is a module wherein we can access Wikipedia right from our Python program. So I'll say pip install Wikipedia, and I'll be writing it here as comment, so that you guys can access it and you guys can run this command and install Wikipedia and whatever module I'm installing here. I'll say import web browser, and I will also import OS, and you don't have to worry about why I'm importing all this, because I'm going to be explaining you step by step, and I'm going to be importing SMTPLIB. So I missed S, Control S to save, and I want you guys to run this program as soon as possible. And when you run this program, you should not see any error. Okay, so I'll type print, and I'll say initializing, and I'll say Jarvis. Control S to save, and I will expect initializing Jarvis on my output window. So you can see that I have this printed right here, and we can start working now. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be typing few lines of code, and I'll be writing some functions so that I can group certain things together. So I'll be writing a function called speak. So I'll say def speak, and this function will pronounce whatever I give it as a string. So I'll say text, and I'm gonna be saying engine.say audio, and then I'll say engine.run and wait. So it will run and it will wait for this audio to pronounce. So if I say speak Harry is a good boy, let's try it. I'll say speak, I'll say Harry is a good boy. Control is to save, and I'll run this program, and you guys will see Harry is a good boy. Okay, so it says engine is not defined, so I did not define the engine, my bad. So what I'll do is I'll say engine is equal to, and this will come from pyttsx3.init, and then you'll have to say SAPI. So as soon as you type init, it will say what is the name of the driver, give me the name of the driver. So if I say something like SAPI5, and if I say voices is equal to engine dot get property, and I'll say voices, and if I print the voices, it will give me all the voices that I have installed on my system. I'll say okay, engine dot set property, and I want to set voice, and I want to set it to let me say voices 0.id, and this should work now because I have everything set up now. I'll run this program. I'm waiting for it to finish. So it says audio is not defined. There's something wrong here. Okay, so I need to say text because the name of my string is text. I'm making a lot of mistakes here, but again, it's a part of your. Okay, so Harry is a good boy, it said that, and we are successful so far. So we are successful in creating a speak function which will speak for us. So congratulations, and let me write a doc string here, or maybe a simple comment, because I don't want to make things complicated by using words like doc string. I'll just put a comment on top of the function. I'll say okay, this speak function will speak the string, or rather pronounce the string which is passed to it. That's about it, and we are successfully able to run our speak function. I will comment this line out because I don't want my Jarvis to say Harry is a good boy as soon as it is initialized. But again, it's a good idea to make it speak initializing Jarvis whenever it starts. So I'll say speak initializing Jarvis. Let me run this code. I'm waiting for it. It's saying initializing Jarvis. If I put 3 dots, it will pronounce it little slowly, is what I expect. Initializing Jarvis, come on. It's taking some time. And
Initializing Jarvis.
it said that. Okay, so what I'm gonna be doing now is I will create a few more functions and then we will make it do bunch of tasks for us. So let me create another function and it will wish me. So I'll say wish me, and I want Jarvis to wish me when it gets initialized because I'm his master, and you know, you should respect your master. So if I created Jarvis, it should respect me. So I'll say okay, wish me. So I'll say hour is equal to DateTime dot, or rather let me import from DateTime, import DateTime, or if I do import DateTime, I'll like something like this, DateTime dot DateTime, and then I'll say dot, and I'll say now, and I'll say dot hour. Let me print this. I just want to see what it returns. If I print hour and if I print wish me, or rather if I run this function wish me, and I can also run this by typing python main.py because it's nothing but a terminal.
Initializing Jarvis.
So it's printing 15, so not bad so far. So it's printing the hour, so it is 3 p.m. so it's printing 15 for me. If it's something else for you, it'll print the corresponding number. If it's 12 a.m. for you, it'll print 0 for you. If it is let us say 11 a.m. it'll print 11 for you, and so on. So we have this hour. Now I want you guys to understand something. This hour is a string, so I want you guys to enclose it inside int so that we can create it, we can convert it to an integer. So now hour is an integer. Our output is not going to change here, it will remain as 15, but again, you will find you will not find difficulty if you compare it with some number. So if I say okay, if hour is greater than equal to 0, which means it's 12 a.m. and beyond, and hour is say less than 12, which means it's before 12 p.m. in the afternoon and it's after 12 a.m. midnight, then I want you to speak good morning. So I'll say okay, speak good morning, and I'll also say master name is equal to Harry, and I want to set this global variable. I'll say okay, all you have to do is you have to speak good morning and the name of your master. That's it. So it will or let me type master at the very top where I'm writing all this. I'll say okay, master is equal to Harry, and I'll put it in caps. And why I'm putting it in caps, because it is a constant and I don't want it to change. So I just want to say master, and also I want to call wish me, but again it's not gonna run because it will not go inside my if statement. Why? Because hour is not greater than equal to 0 and it's not less than 12. It's not morning, it's afternoon going on at my end. So I'll say okay, if otherwise, if hour is greater than equal to 12, if hour is greater than equal to 12 and hour is less than 18, which means it's before 6 p.m. and after 12 p.m. in the afternoon, you have to speak good afternoon, Harry. So I expect you to speak good afternoon, Harry. Not you, I want Jarvis to speak it for me. Good afternoon, master, whatever the master is. You guys can change the name of the master to yourself, because I don't want your Jarvis to say good afternoon, Harry. I want it to say your name. Okay, anyways, I'll say okay, otherwise you have to say good evening. So otherwise you'll say good evening, and we are good to go. I think that's all. That should be good. So I'll just clear my terminal. You don't have to do that, but again, I like nice and clean terminal.
Initializing Jarvis.
Initializing Jarvis.
Good afternoon, Harry.
So it's saying good afternoon, Harry, and I like it. Good afternoon, Jarvis. I'm good. Okay, it didn't ask me that how are you and how may I help you or something. I wanted to speak that as well. So I'll say speak. Good afternoon, Harry. I am Jarvis. I'm Jarvis. How may I help you? Okay, how may I help you? So let me run this once again. Initializing Jarvis.
Initializing Jarvis. Good afternoon, Harry. I am Jarvis. How may I help you?
Okay, I'll tell you, Jarvis, how you can help me, but give me some time to code you. I am still coding you, Jarvis. Anyways, so this is our wish me function wherein I gave it the hour. In fact, I gave it nothing. I generated the current hour using my DateTime module. I printed it hour. I don't want to print that anymore. I'll just remove that. Then I said if hour is greater than equal to 0, which means it's the morning before 12 p.m. after 12 a.m. you have to speak good morning, Harry. If it's after 12 p.m. before 6 p.m. I want you to say good afternoon. Otherwise you have to say good evening. I think that sounds great. We are good with this wish me function. I want you guys to minimize this function. If you don't know how to minimize it, you have to go to the start of the function and you'll find this arrow, and this is nothing but you can collapse a given function and you can make your code look little cleaner, and you can have a bird eye view at your code. I think that makes sense, and you will definitely use this feature and you'll like it. So I have minimized my speak function, and I have also collapsed this wish me function, and this is where my main program starts. So let me write it here. Main program starts here. That should be good. Yeah. So my Jarvis is initialized and it has already wished me. Now what do I want? I want my Jarvis to take some command and do something for me, because I don't want Jarvis to sit idle. I want it to take some command and do something for me, because I don't want people who do nothing. So I'll say okay, take command. So I'm giving it take command. I'm not giving anything to it. I'm just saying okay, take command, and I want something in return. I'll tell you what I want in return. So this function will take let me write about this wish me function first. I'll say this function will speak, it will not speak, will actually speak, but let me call it speak. I don't want to write it will call speak function, because you know what speak function is doing. I'll say this function will speak, or rather will wish you as per the given time, as per the current time. And then this particular take command function, this function will take command from the microphone. And that's all I have to say for now. I'll go inside this function and I will start writing the code. Alright, so how do you take the microphone input? This sounds little tricky, right? It's actually very, very easy. I'll tell you why. All you have to do is you have to use this speech recognition module, and there's a class called recognizer, and all you have to do is you have to create an object of the class. If you don't know what all this is, I want you guys to follow, and because we are creating an awesome project right here, I want you to type sr.microphone, which is a context manager, and as source, and then we'll print listening. So listening, and it will start listening, and I'll say okay, audio is equal to r.listen, which is a function, and it will listen the source. So whatever microphone you are using, you can use the input given to that microphone and it'll start listening to that. All right, so as soon as you are done speaking, it will exit, and it'll say okay, try, and I'll print recognizing, print recognizing, and after that you can say query is equal to r dot recognize Google, and why I'm doing this I'll tell you. Audio and language is equal to ENIN. So English India, I'm from India, so I'm saying English India. You can say English US or whatever you feel like, but it's not going to make much of a difference. All you have to do now is you have to say okay, I'll say f string user set, and I'll say query. Okay, query and /n, control s to save. I think that was enough. That's too much. I haven't explained anything, but please hold on, please hang on for a while, and I'll explain you each and every line, whatever I'm writing. So after that I'll say okay, except if you're not able to do something, except exception as if something fails, what to do. You can say something like, say that again please, or you can make Jarvis speak, hey, say that again please. So I'll just say that again please, and that's all I want to do. If it fails, I think we should now we should run this, and we'll see whether it's working or not. So I'll run this program. I'm waiting for it.
Jarvis.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Harry. I am Jarvis. How may I help you?
Oh, I forgot to run this function. My bad. I was supposed to run this function because I haven't called this function anywhere. How is it supposed to do something for me? I'll run it once again. It'll say initializing Jarvis. It'll say good afternoon, Harry.
Jarvis. Good afternoon, Harry.
Okay.
I am Jarvis. How may I help you?
Hey, I want you to sing a song for me. Oh wow, that's great. I think we have already coded 70% of Jarvis, but now how do we make it do something? We have recognized user input, we have user input as a string at our disposal. Now I want you guys to close this terminal to, you know, to make some room for the code, and I want to zoom in so that you guys can see my code nicely. So accept exception as E, and say that again please. So if there is some problem with your microphone, or if you are not able to speak properly, maybe if you are too far away from the microphone, then it will say okay, say that again please, I didn't get that. If it's not able to recognize. So basically what we are doing is we are using Google's engine to recognize the audio that I'm giving in from the microphone. And I'll do one more thing here. I'll remove this speak statement from wish me, and I'm disabling it temporarily because I don't want it to say how may I help you, I'm Jarvis, how may I help you, again and again, because I don't want to waste much of your time. And you can uncomment this line. It'll look cool. I have commented it to save some time here, because if I run this program over and over again, it'll keep on saying that. I don't want that. So we have this take command function. We have created an object of recognizer class. We have used sr.microphone context manager, and it's listening now. We are making it to listen our source microphone, and then it is recognizing using Google's engine. I think we are good so far. Now what? It should be able to return. It should be able to return something, and I want it to return what has been said. So I'll say okay, return me the query. But what if it's not able to recognize? If it's not able to recognize, query will be none. Query will be none. Okay, good. I think that sounds good. Okay, so we have this take command function done. Now we can start working on other stuff. Now we have this wish me function, we have this take command function. So I'll say query is equal to take command, and if I print the query, it will be displayed on my screen, and I don't want to do that because I want to use this query to do something else, and I'll tell you what. So we can now make it do bunch of cool stuff. So let me start by saying okay, so I'll say logic for executing basic tasks, or executing tasks as per the query. So I'll be coding the logic here, and the logic is if you have Wikipedia in query, which means you have said something about Wikipedia, I'll say speak searching Wikipedia. So if you have if you say who is Tom Cruise according to Wikipedia, I want it to say okay, wait, we are searching Wikipedia for Tom Cruise. So that's what I want here. So I'll say okay, speak searching Wikipedia, and query is equal to query dot replace. Oops. So I'll be replacing query, and I'll be replacing it, I'll be removing Wikipedia from it. And why I'm doing that, I'll be telling you very soon. So if I say Wikipedia, if you say something like this, Wikipedia, and you say Tom Cruise, I don't want to search that Wikipedia inside Wikipedia. I just want to search Tom Cruise. So I want to remove Wikipedia from my query. I hope you got that. So I'll use my Wikipedia module that we have imported here. And if you haven't already imported this Wikipedia module, I have already told you how to install it. Okay, so so far so good. I'll say Wikipedia.summary, and I'll say query, and I'll say sentences is equal to, let me say, 2 sentences. Okay, so I want to address something here. You guys might be thinking, where am I bringing this Wikipedia.summary from, and where am I bringing all the functions that I'm using here, pytdsx3.init? How do I know that I have to use this function? So I want you guys to know that you can go to the modules documentation, and they have mentioned how to use it properly there. So if you search pytdsx3, if you search it on Google, I've already made a Google search. You can go and you can type docs, and you'll find something there, and you can read about the documentation, read about how this module was built and how to use it to implement all these things. So you can see the examples are right here. You can read, you can use it. I have already gone through these examples, and I'm using one of these here. So you guys should not struggle with why I am writing init and why I am writing get property, set property, and where is all this coming from. Alright, so we are saying that, okay, search Wikipedia for this query and return me 2 sentences. And once those sentences are returned, I want it to speak all those results. And let me see whether it works. I'm running it.
Initializing Jarvis.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Harry.
Good afternoon. Hey, who is Tom Cruise according to Wikipedia? Say, hey, who is Tom Cruise according to Wikipedia? So this is something that we have done. So Wikipedia. So we've got a problem here. So did you see the problem? Why it didn't go inside this for loop? It didn't go inside the for loop because here Wikipedia is capital and here Wikipedia is small. So how do I address that? I'll say query dot lower, and let me run this. Okay.
Good afternoon, Harry.
Who is Tom Cruise according to Wikipedia?
Searching Wikipedia.
Now it's searching Wikipedia for me.
Thomas Cruise, born Thomas Cruise May 4, July 3rd.
Did you see that?
1962, is an American actor and film producer.
Is an American actor and film producer. Wow.
For his work, including 3 gold
It works, guys. It works. Let me close this program. So I have stopped this program, and as you guys saw that it's able to search for Tom Cruise. It's able to go to the Wikipedia servers, return the results for Tom Cruise, and it's able to speak it for me. So what I'll do here is I'll print results, and also I will bring it a little down. And you guys can do it once again. The problem with our initial approach was that we did not convert this query to lowercase. A query contained Wikipedia in uppercase, and we want to convert everything to lowercase, and we want to match it with lowercase. So if my sentence contains this word Wikipedia, I will be going inside this if statement. I'll be speaking, or rather my Jarvis will be speaking, searching Wikipedia, and it will do all the work for me. So all I have to do is sit on my couch and say what is something according to Wikipedia, or Wikipedia Tom Cruise. It will tell me about Tom Cruise, or Wikipedia anybody. You can say Wikipedia Harry Potter. You can say Wikipedia anything. You can say Wikipedia Spider-Man, Wikipedia Batman, Wikipedia Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anything. You can do anything. All right. So now I'll say Aleph open YouTube in query. If my query contains open YouTube, what to do? I'll use this web browser module, and I'll say web browser.open, and I'll say youtube.com, and it'll open youtube.com for me, and that should work. All right, so let me test this one now. Oops, I have made some mistake. What is that? Okay, so this should come outside the indent, so I have to make this in line with this, because this is if, this elif is corresponding to this if statement. And as we have already seen in this video, our if else video, where is our if else video? It's here, if else conditionals. I've already explained you everything. Anyways, coming back to a Jarvis, let me run this program once again, and this time I'm going to be saying open YouTube. And once again we have committed the same mistake, and I should be saying query.lower. And I'm not gonna repeat this mistake once again. I'll say open YouTube once again. Let it initialize.
Jarvis. Good afternoon, Harry.
Hey, open YouTube, Jarvis. All right, so we have this YouTube opened here. Wow, it works, and it is opening it in Internet Explorer 11, and I don't want it. I wanted to open it with Chrome, so I'll just go to Google and I'll find out how to use this web browser module to open Chrome. So I'll say web browser open in Chrome, okay, and I'll find something on the internet. Python web browser open to open Chrome browser. So let me see if someone has posted something something useful here. So you can say Chrome path is okay. So this guy has given some code here, so he's pretty much saying that you can pass Chrome path to your program and it'll find out where Chrome is, and then you can use this. Okay, so sounds good. I'll use this, and I also want you guys to look at this answer. Here's a title. If you search this exact title, you should be here on this Stack Overflow page. So let me see if somebody else has posted something. Everyone has posted similar thing. Okay, so there's something called using is equal to Google Chrome. This sounds good to me, but let me see if it works. So let me try this one, Control C, and let me see if this works. Using is equal to web browser.get, using is equal to Google Chrome dot open, and URL is equal to youtube.com. And this sounds good to me. Let me say new is equal to new. What is that new? Let me see. A new is equal to open in a new tab if possible. So I don't want it to open in a new tab. So I'll just say 2 here if I'll be opening in a new tab. Or you can also remove this one. It's not necessary.
Initializing Jarvis. Good afternoon, Harry.
Open YouTube, Jarvis. All right, saying cannot locate runnable browser, and I think this is a problem. So I'll be switching back to this approach, which is Windows Chrome path, and this sounds pretty promising to me. So let me say okay, Chrome path is equal to, I'll stick to my Windows Chrome path. I'll remove Windows. I'll just press tab once again to, you know, sorry, I'll press tab here, I'll click here and tab. Let me press backspace. Okay, so let me see where my Chrome path is. So this might work, but once again it might not work because my Chrome might be installed somewhere else. But I'll give it a go. And if it doesn't work, I'll see where Chrome is installed on my system. So let me run this program and let me say open YouTube, Jarvis.
Initializing Jarvis. Good afternoon, Harry.
Open YouTube, Jarvis. All right, it works. Wow. It really works. But once again, if it doesn't work for you, it means that you don't have your Google Chrome installed here. You need to find out where your Google Chrome is installed and you have to pass on the correct path. But again, this should work because I'm also on Windows. I just copy pasted this blindly from Stack Overflow and it worked. So it should work for you as well. I will say open YouTube in query.lower, URL is equal to this. I'll say okay, if Control C, I'll say if open Google in query.lower, I'll say okay, my URL is google.com, it'll open google.com. And if I want to visit, let us say Stack Overflow, but I don't visit Stack Overflow homepage directly. In fact, who has seen Stack Overflow homepage? Just give me a comment. Tell me in the comment section if you have seen Stack Overflow homepage. I don't open Stack Overflow's homepage. I just go to the corresponding answer and I just read the answer and I go away. Anyways, if you want to open Stack Overflow, you can type any URL. It can be anything. If you open let us say Reddit, you can say open Reddit, and you'll have to change the URL as well. So I'll say Reddit. Control S to save, run this program. It will say initializing Jarvis, and I will give it some command.
Jarvis. Good afternoon, Gary.
Hey Jarvis, I'm really bored. I want you to open Reddit for me. Wow, it worked. Haha. This was great. I can even say that I'm bored or something, and it worked. Wow, much appreciable. And we have just imported a bunch of modules, and we have written some if-else statements, and it really worked. And I think this is great. I think this is great. I should be proud of you, Jarvis. Anyways, now we'll see how we can play music, and it is gonna be little tricky, but believe me, it'll be easy. So I'll say Aleph play music in, and I'll say query dot lower. If query contains, or rather instead of writing query dot lower, I should have returned query dot lower. That would have been even great, but again, you guys can do it. I want you to do all the improvements. I'm just giving you a bare minimum program, and I want you to improve it as much as possible. Okay, so I'll say a songs is equal to, and I'll say os.listdir. OS is a module and listdir is a function inside that OS module. It's a built-in module, and you can use this module to list the directory content. And I'll pass it the directory where I have my music. I have my music in this directory. You guys might have it in other directory. It doesn't matter as long as you pass in the correct directory. So we have songs is equal to os.list directory, which will list all the songs. And I'll show you something. If I print songs, and I want Jarvis to speak little less for me. I don't want it to speak initializing Jarvis for now. I just want it to say good afternoon, and I'll run it. I have syntax error somewhere. I'll see what it is. So play music in query.lower. There is something wrong with the syntax. Songs is equal to this. What is the error? It's saying that Unicode escape can't decode. Okay, so I'll have to pass double slash. Okay, double slash. So when you're passing paths on window, you'll have to escape them, and you just have to give double slashes instead of single. Hey, play music for me. Now obviously it's not gonna play music for me, but it'll tell me what are the songs I have inside this directory. So I have dolphin, flames, and song inside this directory. But again, I can always open these songs, and I can say something like this. So I'll say okay, os.start file, and I'll say start by playing this music or rather songs, and then I'll say songs 0. And I'll say songs dir, and I want to put it inside a variable so that I can pass it. Is equal to this thing, and let me say songs dir, and then I'll say something like songs dir song 0. I think it should work. I'll run this program and I'll ask it to play music for me. Please play music for me, Jarvis. Alright, it works. Wow. Wow, it works. It started playing music for me. This is great, guys. It has started playing music for me. I think this is great. Once again, you can make it do some other tasks for you, like you can ask it time. So if I ask it what's the time, so I'll say Aleph, and I'll say something like time or the time in query.lower, and I will say something like string time is equal to, and in order to take time from this DateTime module, you'll have to say DateTime, and then you'll have to say now, and then you'll have to say str f time, and then you'll have to give it the format you want time in. So I'll say h and then %m and then %s. How do I know I have to write this? I know it from the documentation of this DateTime module. I want you guys to go to the documentation of DateTime module, read about this module, and come back. You'll have better understanding. But once again, if you want to run this project, if you just want to implement something with what you have learned so far using this course through this playlist, I want you guys to stick with me, and let's proceed now. I want you guys to make your Jarvis speak this time for you. So I want Jarvis to say speak, and I want you to say master, the time is, and then I want you to say str time. Let me see if it works. Good afternoon, Jarvis. What's the time?
Harry, the time is 16 hours, 26 minutes, and 42 seconds.
Wow, it works. It works, guys. It works. Thank you, Jarvis. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Jarvis. Okay, so we have this ready. We have play music function. We have a function to, we have some code to ask Jarvis about the current time. We have done a lot of stuff here. Now we'll do one more thing that I am really fond of doing. In fact, this is something that I do daily, and I'll say open code. What is code? Visual Studio Code. I want it to open Visual Studio Code, and in order to do that, I'll say, okay, if this is in query.lower, and it should be really straightforward for you. So I'll say code path, and I'll give it my code path. How do I know my code path? I will right click my Visual Studio Code, and after right clicking my Visual Studio Code, I will say more, and then I'll say open file location, and after clicking on open file location, I'll say right click, and once again I just want to find out where this Visual Studio Code is. Open file location, and it's here. It opened it for me. I'll copy this path, I will paste it here, and once again, in order to escape these slashes, I'll have to type them once again. So /, and I think this should work. And once again, I'll have to say code.exe as well, because code.exe is the name of the application. This is the path of the application. I hope you got it. Now what I'll do is I'll say os.start file and code path. That's it. This will open Visual Studio Code. But since I already have Visual Studio Code open, it will open another window for me. So let's try this out. I'll run this program, and I'll ask Jarvis to open code for me. Hey Jarvis, good afternoon. Please open code for me. Alright, it opened code for me. Thank you so much, Jarvis. Actually, I don't need code because I already have my Visual Studio Code open. But again, Jarvis is doing its work really nice, and I really appreciate it. So guys, this is how you can make your Jarvis do bunch of stuff. Now we will upgrade this program a little bit, and we'll make it send emails. Yes, you heard that right. We'll make it send emails. So what I'll do here is I'll write send email function, and I'll say to content, and then once again I'll say server is equal to, and we have imported a module called smtlib, smtlib, and I'm copying it from there, and I'll say query is equal to, I was here, wish me take command send email. Okay, server is equal to, I got confused for a while. Anyways, server is equal to smtplib, and I'll say .smtp, and then I'll say smtp.gmail.com, smtp, not pt, smtp. And you guys must be thinking, what am I writing here without explaining you guys? And let me tell you, this is SMTP Gmail server, and it is open at port 587. So this is something that you need to write if you want to send emails through your Gmail account. And then you'll have to say something like server.ehlo, and then once again you'll have to say server.start ttls, and once again you'll have to log in. So you'll say server.login, and you'll have to write your email at gmail.com. And once again, before I tell you to do this, I want you to give some warning. Typing your password inside a program and keeping it somewhere is really very dangerous. I don't want you guys to do this, but once again, for educational purpose, you can put your password here. You can put your email ID, and you can put the password corresponding to that email ID here. This is not my email ID, this is not my password, but if you put your email ID and password, but it will not be unsafe as long as you have it inside your computer and as long as you delete it after testing Jarvis. Having said that, you can write your email ID and password here, and you can then do something like server.sendMail, and you can send it to anything. You can send it to harry@codewithharry.com, and then you can do something like say to and content. So this is a send mail function inside this server smtp lib.smtp object. This is a function, and we are using this function, and we are giving it the email ID we want the mail to, and we are giving it the recipient's email ID and the content we want to send. And then we'll say server.close. All right, it works. So now as you can see, I have the server.close here. One thing I want you guys to do is go to, once again, I want to give you some warning before doing this. This is really very unsafe if you are running, if you're using your primary account, your primary Gmail account, your Google account. I don't want you to do this. But once again, if you have a test account or if you want to do it temporarily, you can do it. So you can search for something like allow unsafe apps Gmail. And if you search this, you'll get something like allow less secure apps to access your Gmail accounts. And you can find an article from Google here where they have told you how to allow less secure apps to use your Google account. And you should not do it. Once again, you should use more secure apps. You should always keep your password safe. You should not enter your password anywhere on the internet, and even in your personal programs. It's not safe. But once again, this is something which I'm doing for educational purpose. So you can write your password here. You can play around with this as long as you have everything safe. You have your password inside your own computer, then you can do this. Having said that, you can sign into your account, and then you'll find some option to enable less secure apps. I want you guys to read this article. In fact, you don't have to read this article. You can turn on less secure app access, and it's pretty straightforward. I am not logged in, that's why I'm not doing this. Once you do this on your Gmail account, which you have put here, so if it's harry@gmail.com, I'll go to my harry.gmail.com, and I will turn on like less secure apps, and I will put my harry@gmail.com's password here. And after doing that, I will be able to use this send email function, and my send email function is ready to use. Now once again, how do I know that I have to write all this? I went to the SMPT LIB's documentation and I got the code from there. I hope you understood what I am trying to explain here. Having said that, we'll write another elif statement, and we'll say something like email to Harry. Cool. If I say email to Harry inquiry.lower, then what to do? I'll say okay, if email to Harry is there, then we'll wrap everything inside try catch, because sending email is something which might fail if you don't have stable internet connection, or if you mess up with any of these steps that I explained, you might get an exception, and I want you guys to put it inside try catch. So we'll try speak, and we'll say what should I send. So Jarvis will say what should I send, and then once again I'll say content is equal to take command. It'll take command, and let us say I want to send, these are the videos that I want you to create, Harry, and I'll say the video titles, Node.js, Angular.js, or whatever, Angular 8, whatever the case may be. And once I'm done speaking, it will store everything inside content variable, and then I can use this content to pass through my send email function. So I'll say to is equal to harry@gmail.com, gmail.com, and once again send email, and then once again I'll say to content, and then I'll write speak, email has been sent successfully, and my email will be sent if I do this. And once again, if I get any exception, I'll say except exception is the printy. I just want to print the exception if something wrong happens. So that should do it. Let me run this program and let me say that send email to Harry.
Good afternoon, Harry.
Hey Jarvis, send email to Harry.
What should I say?
Just ask Harry to come over. Oh, it said ask her to come over. I said ask Harry to come over. It said ask her to come over. So it is giving me error as of now because the username and password are not correct. But once again, you can see that we are getting something from Google, and it's showing us that you have your bad credential inside your variables. You should update your credentials. I want you guys to do this exercise. I want you guys to put in your password and put in your email, and then once again you have to go to the internet. You have to log into your Google account and you have to enable less secure apps. But be aware to stay safe. I've already given you a heads up that you don't have to turn on safe apps. You don't have to do it with your primary account. Make sure to be safe before you perform all this. And once again, if you're using some program or some anything which is not safe, which is not from a safe source, never ever put your password inside that, because it might take your credentials and it might attack you. And you should also have your two-factor authentication turned on if your account is really very important. If you have your bank account or if your Gmail account is really very important to you, if you're serious with your accounts, you should always enable two-factor authentication. So that was about Jarvis, and this is something that you can extend as much as possible. I'll collapse these functions, and I will also write a function def main, and I want to wrap everything inside a function. So let me select all this, let me press tab so that I can wrap it inside the function main. Oops, yeah, now it's good. And then I'll just run this main. And after I run main, my Jarvis will start asking me, what do you want to do?
Good afternoon, Harry.
Hey Jarvis, play some music. I'm really tired. Play music. Alright, it'll play the music for me. So let it play the music in the meantime. I think it's really very loud. Let me close this. Anyways, let me close this as well. So let me explain this program to you guys once again. So we used PyTD-SX3 module, we used speech recognition module, we used DateTime, Wikipedia, web browser, operating system, which is an inbuilt module, and SMTP-lib. After importing all these modules, we wrote a function called speak, and we used our PyTD-SX3 module to complete a speak function, which will do nothing but it'll pronounce a string which is passed to it as it is. Now we have something called wish me function, and we are detecting the hour, and if our hour is greater than equal to 0 and less than 12, we are saying good morning, and according to the time we are saying good afternoon and good evening. That's it. And then we are making Jarvis say, hey, how may I help you, or something. You can change this text and you can make it say something else if you want. Then we have this take command function which will take command from your microphone, and it will convert it to a string and it will return it to you. And if there is if something goes wrong, it will return none to you, and that's something that you will not see, and you'll see very less often if you have some problem with your microphone, or if you are not speaking properly, if you're far away from your microphone. After that, we wrote the send email function, and it was something that I took from SMTP-lib's documentation. We wrote a diver program wherein we wrote bunch of if else statements, and we gave some commands to it. We searched for some words inside the command, and we made our Jarvis perform these tasks accordingly. I hope you like this video. If you did, I want you guys to press thumbs up, just smash that like button, and if you haven't already accessed this playlist, I want you guys to access this playlist because it's really important for you to go through these videos one by one. If you haven't already, I want you guys to watch these series of videos one video at a time, and you will clear all your Python related concepts. If you haven't already shared this video and you want to support me, I want you guys to share this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's all for now, guys. So thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time.